Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're down in the garage today, super cramped in here, so we'll try to make do. I'm going to be replacing the rear shock here on the Marin Alpine Trail 7. I have this SR Suntour Triair2. It's a brand new air shock from SR Suntour. We're going to be putting this on the Alpine Trail 7, like I said. I'm going to show you how easy it is to change out your rear suspension. It's only a few bolts. It's more just kind of making sure that you have the right size shock and hardware, but we'll get to that when we get them both, when we get this out, and we'll compare it to this one, and I'll show you how you can change out the mounting hardware on it. So let's get started. So this is a trunnion mount, which is basically means that it's mounted into the, I guess, to the sides of the shock. If it was, they're also a standard mount where they have like a little bushing above the shock, so you want to make sure, and best place to look is on your bike's web page. They usually have all the specs, the size of the shock you need, like the eye-to-eye size and the stroke length. They'll have that all on the website. So basically we just need to take out this bolt, these two bolts at the top, one on each side, and these on the bottom. But one thing I'll suggest you do is try to secure this upper mount. I'm just going to secure it with some zip ties and just zip tie it up to the top of the frame. Hopefully it doesn't move too much when I undo those top two bolts. So depending on the bike, on this one it's a 5mm, so I can just undo these top two, and they'll be fairly tight, so just be aware of that. Just be aware there might be a washer on either side of here. On this bike I don't think there is, but just be aware of that. This other one in here, and try not to hit my head too much. So we're just gonna undo this side. This is where I'm hoping this doesn't move too much with the zip ties. Well, zip ties didn't really do jack. The future me here, just wanted to add this to the video. I actually posted this video yesterday, but then after about, I don't know, 50 views or so, somebody mentioned a better way to secure the back end so it doesn't slam into the frame when you undo that. So I just wanted to show you what they suggested. And actually I have done this before. I don't know, I completely forgot about this method. And I think it was maybe kind of what I was trying to do. But basically if we bring a big zip tie through and secure that rear wheel up, that should stop it from moving. If I just might need a longer zip tie here. Just grab another. So you might have to kind of secure a few zip ties together to get this, but if we put a big zip tie through here and secure this rear wheel to the frames, or you could do the seat post really tightly on there. There. So now if we undo these, okay, so now I can just undo these and nothing should move. So now this shouldn't move when I undo this. There. So now you'll see the shock is out of there and nothing moved here. So that's definitely the proper way to do this. Secure the tire to the frame with a zip tie. Nothing's going to move when you undo the upper shock mount. As you can see from the rest of the video, it's not 100% necessary that you do this. This can just rest against there and you can just move it where you need to. But I just wanted to kind of show this after it was commented on the video yesterday, the proper way to do it. So I'm just going to add this to the video, repost the video. So let's join up with the rest of the video. So you can see how I've kind of got the Allen key on both sides of the frame there. So we can we'll just undo that. And again, be aware of any washers that might come out of here. So basically there's the two pieces there. So this or the hardware that came out of there. So that just kind of screws into that. Also show you what I'm having to work around here, guys. I got this cat. Hey, it just will not get out of my way. I'm literally stepping over him the whole time while I'm down here working. He does not care. So I should now just be able to slide this shock out of here. Might take a bit of effort. Just kind of wiggle it out. It'll come out. There. So we got the shock out. Okay, so here's the two, so the stock shock and the new Suntour Triair2. So the thing you'll want to make sure, like I said, when you're replacing these shocks, is that the eye to eye is the same and the stroke is the same. So in both these cases, we had a 205, which is the eye to eye, 205 millimeters from there. 205 millimeters from eye to eye, and 65 millimeters of stroke. So you want to make sure that is the same. And the other thing you'll want to make sure of is this width here of the bushing that goes in the frame. Now I know with this I'm going to have to change that because this one on the RockShox is narrower. So like if I measure the width of this versus this, I'll show you here. So if I just take like a meter here, and let's say if I look at this or not, the bushing width, I don't know if you can see that there. It's coming in at 25 millimeters. Whereas if I look at this one now, it's coming in at like 22.3 or so. So I know I'm going to have to replace the bushing on this new Suntour. Now you could take it out of here and put it on here. The nice thing about Marin's website, it actually told me exactly the mounting hardware that I needed on their website, which is this. So basically I can take this out of here and put this one in, and it should fit on the bike. And I'll show you kind of a trick on how to get this bushing out of here. So first thing, so you'll notice on here, if it'll focus, there's kind of these end caps or sort of little bushing things. We can just take them off like so. And this will push out a little bit if you push it because it is new. You can see I can push that out a little bit. And be aware there's some tiny little O-rings on here. You'll want to make sure you don't lose. And then we'll go over to the vise and we'll show you how to get this bushing out of here. Okay, so I just have the shock mounted on my vise here. And so I'm just gonna take a socket. In this case, I think it's a 7 millimeter. And you'll see that that fits on there, but it's smaller than the opening in the shock. So if I just set that on there and lightly tap on it, I'm hoping the bushing will come out the bottom. Bushing come out the bottom there. And now that bushing just popped out of there. So now the bushing is out. And then I can put in the new one while we have it in here. Vise, I can go ahead and I'll put the new bushing in there, and it just slides in, so I don't even have to do much to it there. So now I'll just go ahead and I'll just put the O-ring on the one side first, and this little cappy thing here, and the same on the other side. So, and there. So now we have, now the width should be the same. If I measure that here now, Yeah, it's 25 now. I'm also going to put a little bit of grease on here. That'll help it slide into position a bit easier. So now we're going to go ahead and put the new shock in there. Take a little bit of to get that lined up right. This is probably the hardest part of this whole thing, is getting this in there. What I do sometimes is I'll use a screwdriver to kind of help me get this into place. It's just kind of pushing it through here, making sure that that shock there. So now if I can slide the screwdriver through there, I know it's all lined up properly. Go ahead and put the mounting hardware. Making sure you got a washer on each side. This again, instead of like, this is the hardest part, is getting this lined up in there. There we go. That's through there. Now we can put the other side in here. I just thought I'd show you guys this video. I don't think I've ever done a video on replacing a shock before. So now we can go ahead and tighten those up. 5 and a 6 again. And we'll tighten these up more once we get everything back together. Okay, so this is again going to get a little bit tricky where we have to line up this with that. So what I'll try to do is just put this sort of sitting there in position, and then I'm going to lift up on the rear triangle. And I find if I come down and then up, see how I kind of went down and then up, and then I'll try to get that lined up, but of course I dropped. So I'll grab this one. So we're just trying to line this up with the mount there. So I got that in there. I'm not sure if that was in focus when I did that, but basically I've just lifted up the rear triangle to align this with the top mount on there, and I'll get the other side started in here. You might have to just kind of lift up the rear suspension a little bit, or just to get that started there. So you just kind of have to get it, play around with it till it lines up. It's a little tricky, but not that bad. We'll just tighten that side up, and then we'll tighten up the other side. And that's pretty much it. We'll tighten those up to spec. So once you get everything kind of together, you'll want to make sure to torque these to the specified torque. This says, what does that say? 12 Newton meters. So we'll want to get our torque wrench set for that. So we'll just make sure that these are tight enough. So that's good there. All right, so we're good there. All right, we're all good. So there's the new SR Suntour Triair2 installed. Nice looking shock on the Alpine Trail 7. So there you go, guys. Just a quick video showing you how easy it is to replace your shock on your full suspension bike. Hardest parts were just kind of getting this lined up, but as you can see, it's literally just 4 bolts and making sure your mounting hardware is correct. So make sure that you do, if you are replacing your rear shock on your bike, that you double check on their website mounting hardware, or take off your shock that came on the bike and measure that mounting hardware at the bottom. You'll want to make sure that lines up. So yeah, super stoked. Got the Triair2 on here. I also got a new fork on the bike, the Suntour Aeon 36, which is one of their brand new forks. It's a EQ fork, just like the Duralux I have on the San Quentin 3. So super excited to try that out on the Alpine Trail 7. Also got a new cockpit from PNW. Components sent that over with their range handlebars, their stem, the loam lever, which is super awesome, and their grips, the XL ones that I've been running on the San Quentin, which I really like. So again, just starting to get the Alpine Trail dialed in a little bit how I like it. So can't wait to try out this new stuff on the trail soon. Hope you liked the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate everybody stopping by the channel, supporting the channel, and until next time, keep your feet on the pedals.